Thanks, that's like perfect.
Welcome, everyone. I would like to start by acknowledging the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam, and Coquitlam peoples on whose traditional territory we are so privileged to be gathered this morning. I would like now to invite Ms. Natalie Utrush, who graduated earlier this week with a Bachelor of Science degree and is a member of our SFU choir, and she will lead us all in singing O Canada. Natalie.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Wonderful, thank you.
Please be seated. I declare the Spring 2018 Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduands, and friends, I am Anne Giardini, Chancellor of Simon Fraser University, and we are delighted and honored to have you join us for Convocation. In attendance today are a number of distinguished guests in the audience and on the platform, including members of Senate, Vice Presidents, Dean, and faculty. I would like to acknowledge Ms. Crystal Pite, who will be conferred an Honorary Doctorate of Fine Arts this morning, and our SFU alumni, legacy, parents, and families. Welcome to you all. And thanks to you all for being patient with the construction that you can see on campus. We have several exciting projects underway, and these include, behind the platform on my left, there will soon be the SFU Student Society's new Student Union building. The building will be entirely devoted to students with lounges, study areas, meeting rooms, and recreational facilities. Clearly, it will be the place to be. And directly behind me is the Public Plaza Renewal Project, which will improve accessibility and create more gathering spaces as we carry on renewing our aging infrastructure. Convocation is a time when we somehow manage to turn our gaze in two directions at once. We look back with a sense of success and completion concerning all you have accomplished in your time at SFU, and we look ahead with hopes and expectations for all that you will do in the days to come. Right now, we are gathered at a place and in a moment when transformation occurs. The ancient Romans recognized an odd and distinctive deity, the two-faced god Janus. He was believed to have authority over beginnings and endings, gates and passageways, and transitions from one place to another, and over what we call liminal or threshold spaces. One of his two profiles looks ahead to the time to come, while the other directs his gaze into the past. Janus's name is easy to remember, by the way. He is the origin of our modern word janitor, because he was seen as someone who keeps the disorder of the world outside at bay while maintaining the separate space within. Today you have behind you classes, papers, hard work, deep thought, quizzes, shared activities, lonely study, contemplation, conversations, days of doubt and panic, days of exploration and joy. Don't let anyone tell you that this part of your life has not been real life. Your years as a student are as tangible and as human and as leafy with meaning as any you will experience in the days ahead. You are headed outward now, across this SFU threshold into a hurried and busy world. Most of you will find your way into work and into careers. You have great potential, and among you a vast array of plans. You will work, maintain relationships, volunteer, continue, I hope, to learn, stay on top of current events, make or listen to music, invent, stay fit, perhaps raise families, and certainly make a difference. Because you are or are about to be SFU grads, I have every confidence that you will flourish in the days ahead. You will be innovative. You will be attentive. You will be creative. You will find time to consider how this world might be changed for the better. You might very well do something yourself, large or small, that will help to bring about much-needed change. In a rushed and hectic world, you may wonder whether there will be enough time to accomplish all that you intend to do. I am happy to assure you that the time ahead is abundant. The days are long, the hours are many. I hope you enjoy the time to come and experience it as profuse rather than worrying about it running away from you. English, our shared language, is marvelous in very many ways, but it's limited in how we frame and understand the idea of time. The Greeks, for example, had at least 2 words for time, chronos and kairos. Chronos, which we can hear today in such words as chronological and anachronism, refers to the measured seconds and minutes and hours of clock time. Kairos is a very different concept, referring to significant moments instead of measurable and utilitarian time. Kairos is an enveloping instant, such as the one in which we find ourselves. It is the right, the promising, the auspicious time. The earliest way to track time was, of course, by following the arc of the sun, but the first automated measurers of time made use of water that dripped from or seeped into a bowl. It feels to me as if these earliest automated clocks might have got time right. The best and most productive time for most of us is when we find ourselves like water in a state of flow, when each event and task feels as if it is leading somehow in a way that feels inevitable to the next. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman put it this way in his book, Thinking Fast and Slow. In a state of flow, maintaining focused attention on absorbing activities requires no exertion of self-control, thereby freeing resources to be directed to the task at hand. Many activities can induce a sense of flow, he says, from painting to racing motorcycles to writing a book. The enemy of flow is, of course, interruption. Who among us is not the owner and the victim of the small machines that we carry with us everywhere? They are marvelous in too many ways to list, but our telephones can kill flow and can, if we let them, nibble away at our ability to do our best work. The poet Jane Hirschfield has written about the wholeheartedness of concentration, a place where world and self begin to cohere. With that state comes an enlarging of what may be known, what may be felt, and what may be done. We need to be discerning in the interruptions we allow ourselves or risk the loss of the mental, emotional, and transcendent space, that state of flow in which our best thoughts and work arise. Looking backward at what you have achieved, today's degree or certificate is evidence that you are capable of sustained thought and work. Looking forward, I hope that you will spend your time both profligately and wisely, and will spend many, many hours in that productive, satisfying state that engenders the very best that you are capable of. I ask that you stay in touch with those of us who will remain here on this side of the threshold. We are proud of you, and we are grateful and changed and improved by the time that we have spent in your company. Thank you. I now call upon the president of our university, Professor Andrew Petter.
Madam Chancellor, honored guests, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty members, staff, and most especially, graduates, family, and friends. It's my privilege to be presiding at this culminating celebration of your education at Simon Fraser University. As this ceremony unfolds, our message to you is clear. As each of you receives your degree, I and my colleagues on stage, together with the entire SFU community, want you to know how proud we are of you. We've seen your work, we've admired your performance. Your degrees are not merely documents of accreditation, they're living testament of the faith we have in your ability to flourish in a changing world. And that's a good ability to have, because the world is most assuredly changing. A recent Oxford University study estimated that 47% of current jobs will be automated out of existence over the next 20 years. When I attended university, lo, those many years ago, I was encouraged to believe that if I had developed a good career plan, that plan could serve me for a lifetime. In today's dynamic world, the notion of planning a lifelong career is as redundant as many of the careers for which I might have planned. The need to plan one's future has been overtaken by the need to equip oneself for multiple futures, many of which are yet unknown. This point was driven home earlier this year at our annual SFU Public Square Community Summit, which explored the future of work. One of the main presenters was American political activist and commentator Van Jones. Like Chancellor Giardini, Jones had been thinking about different concepts of time, looking particularly at how changing perceptions of time have affected our approaches to work. In the agrarian era, he noted, time was perceived as circular. Life revolved around daily and seasonal cycles. The sun came up, the sun went down. Spring gave way to summer, which faded to fall and turned to winter, only to begin the cycle again. Tomorrow was the same as yesterday. In this era of circular time, Jones noted, the most important value for survival was preservation. Preservation of culture, of knowledge, of ritual, and most practically, preservation of seeds. Then came the industrial age, an era of transformation and change. In this era, time became linear, the past behind you, the present with you, the future stretching in front but still distant. Jones compared the industrial era to being on a train with the track ahead leading one to a new destination. In this era, this unfolding environment, the key value for survival was planning. One could look ahead and prepare for a lifetime of well-ordered tomorrows. But the industrial era has now been supplanted by a digital era, in which Jones said we are no longer traveling into the future, rather the future is coming towards us at an ever faster pace, no longer content to wait as our plans unfold. In his words, the future is onrushing, bringing with it changes that overwhelm our ability to plan. So today, the key value for survival is not preservation or planning, but rather adaptability, or as Jones calls it, the capacity to pivot. It was a compelling analysis, though I would argue even in the past, adaptability has been an important attribute. There's a quote chiseled into the floor of the California Academy of Sciences in San Francisco that was originally attributed to Charles Darwin. It reads, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It's the one that is the most adaptable to change." It's a tribute to the California Academy's own adaptability that they've since rubbed out that mistaken attribution and given proper credit to Leon Megginson, a professor of management studies, who wrote those words in 1963 as part of a contemplation on Darwin's work. So how do you learn to be adaptable? Well, I'd argue you choose to study at an institution like Simon Fraser University. As Canada's engaged university, we've enabled you not only to gain knowledge of the disciplines you have studied, but also to think critically, to solve problems, and to make your own decisions. And we've offered you diverse learning experiences, including opportunities to study at 3 distinct campuses, to learn in the classroom and in the community, and to gain intercultural understanding and international perspectives, both at home and abroad. In sum, your education has been about equipping you with the knowledge, aptitudes, and skills that are required to be adaptable citizens and to thrive in a rapidly changing world. As you embark now from this stage of your education, as you embrace a future in which you're likely to have multiple careers, you will need to continue learning and updating your skills. But thanks to your education here, you will do so based on a strong foundation. You also face the future as members of an adaptable community of over 150,000 SFU alumni spread across 150 countries around the world. And when you need to update your knowledge and skills, when you confront issues that are outside the scope of your expertise, we at SFU will always be here for you. So please stay in touch. In the years to come, the relationships that you've formed in your time here with friends and colleagues, with faculty and mentors, will serve you better than any single lesson. For now, this is your time. Enjoy it, but use it wisely. Share it generously with those you love and just as generously with those who don't have your advantages. We will thrive in this changing world only if we can all adapt and flourish together. Most importantly, seize your time with confidence and with optimism. You've earned the accolades and credits that you've received today. Make the most of them, and you will lead us all into a better world. Thank you.
SFU's honorary degree is the highest honor conferred by the university. Honorary degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievement, or in recognition of exceptional contribution to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Honorary degree recipients' achievements celebrate our university's values and serve as an inspiration and as a role model to our students, graduates, and communities. The honorary degree will now be conferred. To present the honorary degree candidate, Ms. Crystal Pite, I am very pleased to welcome Dr. Aoife McNamara. Dr. McNamara is Dean of the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology and a professor in the School of Contemporary Art here at SFU. Dr. McNamara.
Madam Chancellor. So, I am really honoured to present Ms. Crystal Pite. Crystal Pite is an internationally renowned Canadian choreographer, and her works are sought by some of the world's best dance companies, including the Paris Opera and the Royal Ballet. Ms. Pite is the founder and artistic director of Vancouver-based interdisciplinary performing arts company Kid Pivot. And she's been long engaged in creating dance works. And the beauty of her work and the beauty of this work is achieved by their ability to create empathy and understanding, and the ability of these works to extend how and what we know about some of the most complex and difficult challenges of our time. Her productions address themes such as the refugee crisis, and that's a work, for example, in her 2017 creation for the Royal Ballet, Flight Pattern, and addiction and loss, a project she did with Kid Pivot and the Electric Company Theatre's award-winning production, Betroffenheit, and a performance, and that continues to tour internationally today. So, Crystal Pite was born in Terrace and raised in Victoria, BC, and she began her professional dance career with Ballet BC in 1988 and started her choreographic career with the company in 1990. She later danced with William Forsythe's Ballet Frankfurt, and since then has created over 50 works for international companies, including the Netherlands Dance Theatre, where she's been an associate choreographer for over a decade. And I know there are people sitting in this room who've been part of something here, and she choreographed a piece for SFU dance students, and I am sure there are a number of you here who had the benefit of that, which was performed at SFU Woodwards in 2014. And that, the ability, this is something that Crystal's capacity to come and work with us at the university and engage students in the production of a new work that enables us to actually rethink and understand the world differently is a gift that very few performers and professionals of her calibre have been able to actually confer on us, and we're very grateful for it. In 2002, she formed Kid Pivot, a company known for the world-class quality of its dancers and for its capacity to engage collaborators locally, nationally and internationally. And with Kid Pivot, she's created many acclaimed works, including Dark Matters, Lost Action, The Templess Replica and Betroffenheit, a piece that she co-created with Jonathan Young. Crystal Pite has, this is not the first honour that's been conferred on Crystal Pite, and she's been recognised in many contexts, including awards from the Governor-General, the Canada Council, the Benoit de la Danse, awarded in Moscow, and 3 Laurence Olivier Awards. She's an associate artist at Canada's National Arts Centre and at Sadler's Wells in London. She is an inspirational creator, an invaluable teacher of young dancers, a vital choreographer, and a role model for the indomitable way she continues to pursue her unique and challenging artistic visions. And now just turn my page. And Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of this university, I ask that you now confer upon Crystal Pite the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts honoris causa.
You may have those. Crystal Pite, by virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I do hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts honoris causa. Ms. Crystal Pite will be hooded by Dr. Wade Parkhouse, Vice Provost and Associate Vice President Academic, and Ms. Romana Kanhamani, Registrar and Executive Director of Student Enrollment.
It's now my great pleasure to call on Dr. Crystal Pite for her convocation address. Dr. Pite.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, Senate, faculty, students, family, and friends. I am deeply grateful and honored to receive this recognition and delighted to find myself with you here today. 8 years ago, I was in the early stages of choreographing a new work for my company. And I usually start every creation by building what I call raw phrases. These are bits of choreography that become the official language of the creation, a vocabulary that the dancers and I become fluent in. Normally, I would build these raw phrases on my own body first, and then expand and refine them with the dancers in the studio. But I was pregnant at the time and moving more carefully than usual. So I wrote a list of instructions, 9 physical events that each dancer would craft into a raw choreographic phrase of his or her own making. The resulting phrases, when danced together, became an interface of synchrony and asynchrony, of simplicity and complexity, of order and chaos. So the list turned out to be a useful tool, and I've used it in several other projects since, changing the events to suit the subject, but essentially keeping the format. So here's an example of 9 events. Number 1, start low, but be in a state of ascending. 2, make your heart the leading point of your body. 3, see what you see. 4, drop into a wide stance, hands open. 5, prepare to turn, then turn. 6, let part of yourself fall, i.e. your wrist or your forehead, but catch it right before it hits the floor. 7, retreat, as if protecting something fragile. 8, expand in all directions, including inwards. 9, kick high and hard. I'm a choreographer, so human beings and their bodies are my medium. But I'm actually not so interested in the body itself. I'm interested in the wordless language that it speaks, and how the body gives shape to the soul, how it can manifest a disappearing trace of the divine. Creation is a dialogue with the unknown. The conversation can be illuminating or maddening, but it is always sincere and generative. Art is a meeting point between our knowledge and our imaginations. It's where we grapple with the beauty and brutality of our world. It can distill enormous concepts like love and war into something we can gather around and reckon with. It is a means of connection, understanding, a chance to inhabit other perspectives. Art is like looking through a lens, an opportunity to see the world in greater detail and clarity. It is a magnified experience. Recently, I've created some things that were wrought from difficult subject matter and pressurized with expectation. People asked how I've coped. 2 things. The first, I never do this alone. I collaborate, I get advice, I get support, inspiration, and love. I have amazing people around me, and some of them are here today. And secondly, creation, even when turbulent, is inherently joyful. Creation requires us to stay awake and open, to be playful, to take risks, to make something, even out of despair, is to engage with the world with sincerity and earnestness. Earnestness. It's hard to say, and it kind of has an uncool ring to it. But what does it mean? Earnestness is leaning into life with hope and trust and curiosity. Like art, it is a form of love. Earnestness takes more energy than cynicism and more courage. We need to stay earnest in order to effect change, to cope, to heal, and to wonder. And we need art for the same reasons. And you are all here today because of your energy and your courage. And I want to congratulate you and the amazing people around you that have helped to get you here today. I celebrate your creativity, your talent, your hard work, and your earnestness. Art is a gift from one soul to another. In closing, I'd like to make a gift of these instructions. Please do try this at home. Start low, but be in a state of ascending. Expand in all directions, including inwards. See what you see. Widen your stance, open your hands. Prepare to change, then change. Let part of yourself fall, but catch it right before it hits the floor. When retreating, protect fragile things, kick high and hard, and finally, make your heart the leading point of your body. Thank you so much.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Don't forget to use the glasses. Oh, okay.
Thank you, Dr. Pite. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of Convocation, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to the graduates as they leave the stage. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we're pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch you on your new role as SFU alumni. Ms. Claire Wilson received a Bachelor of Arts with a joint major in History and Women's Studies in 2013. She's also currently a member of the SFU Alumni Association Board of Directors, as well as a staff member at SFU. I invite Ms. Wilson to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduands. Claire?
Thank you, President Petter. On behalf of your elected SFU Alumni Association Board, I extend my congratulations to you all. You are now lifetime members of the SFU alumni community, a worldwide network more than 155,000 strong in over 140 countries. Your relationship with SFU transforms as your journey continues. We are here to help you expand your personal and professional networks through local, national, and international events, and to support your success by offering access to career resources, library services, and many value-added benefits. Our goal is to have you serve as engaged alumni, helping to advance and enhance the student experience for future graduates, and serving as ambassadors for SFU in your communities. As you cross the stage today, I'll present you with an alumni pin. Wear it as a symbol of your connection to SFU and your incredible achievements. Be proud of your accomplishments, be proud of your SFU credentials, and thank you all for investing your time, energy, and talents in this great university. Congratulations again, and welcome to the Alumni Association.
Thank you, Claire. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Ms. Michaela Anzelovich, a member of the graduating class, will address Convocation. Michaela is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Communication with a minor in Sociology. Throughout her time at SFU, she volunteered and was a peer mentor and study abroad ambassador. She also participated in an academic exchange at the University of Leeds, held an 8-month co-op placement with the federal government, and worked a third co-op term as an educational outreach coordinator for the School of Communication. After graduation, Michaela plans to pursue further studies. It's now my great pleasure to call on Michaela Angelovich for the graduate address. Michaela.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, Madam Chancellor, honored guests, faculty, staff, family, friends, and fellow graduates. I am truly humbled to be standing here in front of you today. I thought this day would never come, and I think I can speak on behalf of many of the graduates here when I say, well, it's about time. No longer can people ask us, so when are you graduating? Now, the even more stressful question comes, so what are you going to do with your degree? Although this pressing question may seem like a burden to answer, we can all take comfort in the fact that SFU provided us with a wealth of opportunities which many of us took advantage of. SFU also became a place where many of us made lifelong friendships. Whether we realized it or not, we gained many transferable skills at SFU that we will all take with us into our future endeavors. SFU taught us how to critically think, and although the capacity to critically think may seem like a characteristic that most people possess, learning how to critically think to the extent in which we have has allowed us to become critically engaged citizens who can hold their own in a debate. SFU has taught us the importance of managing our personal fitness in combination with our studies, which is the only rational reason I have been able to come up with as to why the design of the stairs at this institution have remained intact this long. As I, like I am sure many of you, have experienced entering a class being completely out of breath after running up what seems to be a never-ending staircase. SFU has taught us how to be adaptable, as in when you had already spent an hour searching for parking and had missed the first half of your class, anywhere could be a parking spot if you wanted it badly enough. SFU has taught us the importance of accountability and responsibility. When we chose to go out or stay up late to watch our favorite Netflix series before our 9 a.m. presentation the next day, you best believe we showed up to that 9 a.m. presentation and faked it until we made it. SFU taught us the importance of time management, as in we learned to allot the majority of our lives here to studying or going to school. However, we also spent a good amount of time that we devoted, of course, to scrolling and swiping on our social media accounts. SFU taught us the true nature of hard work and determination. We learned that when things seemed impossible, somehow, some way, something always got handed in. SFU taught us that it's okay to ask for help, as many of their faculty, staff, and support services were there to support us throughout our education. But most importantly, SFU taught us to be lifelong learners in whatever we go on to pursue. Graduation is marked by mixed emotions, celebration, relief, uncertainty. It marks a new transitioning point in all of our lives. For the past 3, 4, 5 years, or however long it took us to complete our degree, during the semester, we knew what we were doing pretty well day in and day out. And no matter how stressed SFU made us at some point, it was also a familiar place. Now we are all emerging into the unknown, and for many of us, this change is difficult and even a bit awkward to navigate. Some of us have already been accepted into post-grad programs or are moving on to PhDs. Others have found careers or have been hired on by a previous employer. This may be a second or third degree for some of us. A portion of us are contemplating what stream of education we want to pursue next. Many of us are returning to our part-time jobs. A few of us have decided to travel the world, and some of us are just taking a moment to relax and navigate the many possibilities that lay ahead of us. We live in a culture of impatience and fast-paced change, and we have been tasked with the responsibility of reacting and creating in this society. Many of the careers that some of us go into do not even exist yet, and although a lot of unknown lies ahead of us, take comfort in the fact that we are all in the same situation, and that this degree is more than just a piece of paper. It's a testament to our perseverance and strength as human beings. I will conclude my speech by acknowledging that the more seconds I spend up here talking to you is less time you're spending celebrating with your loved ones. Take time today to thank the people in your life that supported you throughout your degree, because I know for myself the completion of my degree would not have come without the overwhelming support I had from those who surrounded me. To graduate from Simon Fraser University is a true accomplishment, and so to my fellow graduates I say congratulations. We made it.
Thank you, Michaela, especially for shining light on some of the lesser-known aspects of an SFU education. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise? Pretty good-looking group, don't you think? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university, and I request that you confer upon them the degrees for which they are now recommended.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Will the graduands please be seated?
The members of the graduating class will now be presented individually to the Chancellor. But first, a few requests. Would you please refrain from applauding the individual members of the graduating class until each group of degrees has been conferred? This does not apply to the conferral of doctoral degrees, and obviously we can't forbid spontaneous outbursts of enthusiasm, nor do we want to. As a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony. I'd ask the graduates to please return to your seats following receipt of your degrees. However, our doctoral graduates, please join your colleagues on the platform. The degrees in the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology will now be conferred. Madam Chancellor, Dean and Associate Provost, Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, Dr. Jeff Dirksen, will announce the names of the students who are earning graduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduands of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology. The graduands will be hooded by their accompanying faculty supervisor, representative, or Dr. Aoife McNamara, Dean of the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology. The first doctoral recipient, Dr. Margaret Macaulay, is also a recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Macaulay will be hooded by her senior supervisor, Dr. Peter Chow White. During her PhD, Dr. Macaulay examined the challenges and opportunities that new technologies bring for gay men's communities and the HIV prevention needs. Focusing on the experiences of gay men, public health actors, and tech entrepreneurs in Vancouver and San Francisco, her research examined the virtual friction that accompanied digital and biomedical changes in the world of HIV prevention. Dr. Macaulay received the prestigious SSHRC Canada Graduate Scholarship for her research, and she is currently a postdoctoral fellow at the Stigma and Resilience Among Vulnerable Youth Center in UBC's School of Nursing. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the remaining graduands of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Jean Hébert. Dr. Hébert will be hooded by their senior supervisor, Dr. Richard Smith. Dr. Michael Nixon. Dr. Anis Rahman. Dr. Rahman will be hooded by Dr. Robert Anderson, the representative of the faculty. Dr. Vinu Sabushini Rajus. Dr. Rajus will be hooded by their senior supervisor, Dr. Robert Woodbury. Dr. Courtney Sitow. Dr. Randa El-Johani. Dr. El-Johani will be hooded by their senior supervisor, Dr. Elisa Antley. Thank you, doctoral graduates. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology. Card, please. Anusha Ahmedi. Courtney Chu. Viroknik Siufe. Emily Ip. Mina Lee. Frederico Machuca. Michelle Martin. Brendan Matkin. Carol Muñez Nieves. Michelle Nahani. Ayesa Rainyard. Elrino Eradia. Deepak Balanchankandar. Emily Burt. Matteo Cano. Marco Sermusoni. Xiao Chen. Andrea Del Rio Lazo. Marc-Antoine Desbiens. Anthony Duffy. Kalina France Hernandez. Chirong Chuang. Yuhan Chuan. Clayton Hebenick. Maria Herrera. Rafael Hosevar. Karina Cairn. Rahul Kukreja. Ya Jin Kwan. Mila Lang Klachar. Angie Lee. Hoyo Lee. Kiwei Lee. Lu Lee. Shinan Lin. Krisha McClang. Thanks. Dang Ho Goyen. Lien Nguyen. Anna Perlhina. Tomas Petijean. Matahare Pila Haravian. Vivek Ravichandran. Eduardo Romero. Sandeep Saha. Vide Shah. Yas Shah. Camila Sieben. Conrad Sly. Ling Su. Zachary Valenta. Brooke Waddington. Anyuan Wang. Stephen Wong. Manny Xu. Parmidu Zaring Kamar. Jun Zhang. Yang Xiang. Matthew Aryaratnam. Patrick Blencarn. Julia Hammond. Natasha Berry. Lydia Marie Bulduk Gosselin. Ariel Hudnal. Xiaoxun Lin. Dana Mills. Gabriela Scali. Carmen Tiampo. Qiyan Zhang. Jinzhou Zhao. Gokhan Chaitan. Li Fang. Thank you, graduates.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology, Dr. Aoife McNamara, will now announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in her faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology. The first graduate is the recipient of the Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence, Ms. Elizabeth Montroy. I ask Ms. Montroy to come forward. Lovely. Ms. Elizabeth Montroy is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Communication with a Certificate in Health and Fitness Studies. Completing her degree with a GPA of 4.14, she was named, I've not finished, it goes on, she was named to the President Honours Roll 6 times. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Welcome. Madam Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting the remaining graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology. Eleanor Ugbai. Soyan A. Makame Alavazda. Pranish Amrit. Kayleen Admonson. Kimberly Anderson. Michaela Azavanage. Sally Aaron. Phoebe Baker. Shaman Backett. Priyanka Bali. Ryan Barbiri. Prabjit Kaur Bassett. Samuel Belgan. Crystal Bernhardt. Nancy Breedvelt. Kylene Bogdan. Catherine Keneal. Melissa Cantafio. Howard Chai. Patricia Ningchak. David Callum Chang. Janessa Chang. Grace Ingyung Chang. Richard Chang. Jody Chang. Ashley Chia. Ivy Chen. Jiani Chen. Jia Yi Chen. Mincy Chen. Justina Chen. Joy Chen. Canis Chiuk. Carmen Chung. Ambrose Chia. Marina Wu. Hishin Yi Qian. Shaoli Chudri. Charlene Chu. Terence Chu. Calvin Chung. So-Young Chung. Austin Kozikar. Hong Chao Chiu. Zhao Dantes. Chang Ling Dao. Rebecca Maria Dao. Nina De Reuter. Abby De Pessi. Boldeep Dillon. Rama Diallo. John Dickey. Alexa Dikiakos. Melissa DiMadi. Dion Dorazio. Manvir Dule. Kirby Elliott. Erin Farner. Warder Furdus. Jessie Finkel. Michelle Fu. Rachel Fung. Madison Goltz. Lucas Gatto. Ashley Goldman. Zoe Good. Robin Goodridge. Lindsay Gray. Rosemary Gresham. Alicia Guidi. Peng Gu. McKenna Hadley Burke. Jasmine Sulky Han. Taylor Hartley. Jason Hartstein. John Heder. Jennifer Hiu. Annie Ho. Brianna Ho. Brianna Ho. Rachel Hoffus. Yan Cheng Su. Cindy Huang. Yu Huang. Omosio Izubie. Lana Evie Kovic. Jaspreet Jandu. Minji. Christy Jeremias. Lin Jian Jiang. Lin Jiang Jiang. Heather Jude. Sukraj Kalon. Serena Cambo. Kartik Kaushik. Dasha Kazarina. Sukaja Kekhal. Nicholas Kim. Stacy Kim. Tyler Kirby. Thank you. Daria Klim Asiva. Natalie Kong. Thank you. Natasha Cothery. Thank you. Nicholas Kozak. Hi. Andrea Krutz. Irina Crisella. Yuan Chen Ku. Kendra Cookin. Sarah Kong. Carol Koo. Thank you. Tasneem Kurtu. Thank you. Ka Lei Kwok. Thank you. Rachel Kwong. Thank you. Denise LaBelle. Chanel Lafleur. Brian Lau. Thank you. Charmaine Law. Thank you. Karen Law. Thank you. Harold Lee. Thank you. Michelle Lee. Pauline Leon Shao. Bridget Leon Chung. Hey, thanks. Nadia Lipak. Hey. Christopher Lesage. Zoe Young. Pak Hin Leong. William Leong. Carol Lee. Winnie Lee. Gavin Liang. Yan To Liang. Chai Hyung Lim. Connie Lin. Terry Lin. Marta Litwin. Albert Liu. Hong Yu Liu. Wendy Liu. Chantel Loy. Zhao Lu Lao. Saeed Lufti. Shanti Ma. Amelia Makiewicz. Shayna Mahalik. Sky Madden. Sky Mandan. Milan Mann. Adelina Manzo. Hannah Marek. Carly Rose Marek. Sarah Marr. Maurizio Martinez Berra. Farnaz Masoudi. Dylan Matu. Marissa McGarry. Joshua McGee. Riley McLeod. Emily McNeil. Ashley Melendez. Abdul Ahad Memon. Thank you. Victor Menjivar. Thank you. Samantha Meese. Thank you. Megan Miller. Thank you. Narissa Moe. Carmela Mock. Otiti Moses. Timothy Motisho. Ari Nakamoto. Thank you. Brett Nelson. Michelle Ning. Thank you. Lee Ning. Thank you. Shisei Nishide. Thank you. Bokose Nuxi. Catherine Norada. Melissa Ong. Thank you. Sumoni Pabla. Esther Park. Jane Park. Sungming Park. Nicole Pear. Jared Pleasance. Amanda Poe. Kimberly Polchuk. Anthea Scarlett Poole. Bernice Puzin. Elaine Koo. Thank you. Alyssa Kwan. Thank you. Sheldon Kesnell. Thank you. Hugo Quinones Silva. Brian Hezron Rationeller. Etienne Rambo. Nicole Rattel. Alicia Camille Reyes. Adrienne Eleanor Ross. Adam Rossi. Michelle Russell. Ludwig Salen. Sarveen Sama. Aaron Sanders. Jeevan Sandhu. Ariana Sapatula. Christy May Sawakats. Anna Sham. Dana Sharon. Gia Oren Shi. Roxanne Shi. Andy Shin. Kevin Shipaleski. Scout Shimigol. Satera Shatkuli. Okay. Agnes Simon. Thank you. Brandon Sims. Thank you. Cindy Singharaj. Samantha Slynn. Thank you. Alexander Smikolas. Molly Smith. Tanner Smith. William Somargo. Alex Song. Thank you. Christopher Spencer. Thank you. Kelsey Strickland. Oh, sorry. Haley Strutt. Zijun Sun. Sumpa Supsuan. Grace Rose Swain. Derek Tam. Michelle Tan. Divya Thakur. Kimberly Tom. Amanda Tipper.
Tamisa?
Jordan Tamiza.
Gabriella.
Gabriela Torres.
Thank you.
Amanda Tran.
Thank you. Trias?
Harleen Trias.
Thank you very much.
Jeffrey C. Kylene C. Samantha C.
Thank you.
Armeet Uppal.
Thank you.
Andrea Valentine Lewis. Krista Vanderhelm.
Thank you.
James Wang.
Thank you.
Stephanie Wang. Ji Young Wang. Ho Chi Wong. Isabel Wong. Janice Wong. Kayla Wong. Kathleen Wong. Kimberly Wong. Kiri Wong. Vivian Wong. Joanne Zhao. Xingyu Yang. Vivian Ye. Maxine Yo. Clara Young. Michelle Yen. Anki Zhang.
Thank you.
Hengru Zhao.
Thank you.
Zhuming Zhao.
Thank you.
Zhuhang Zhao. Zhuming Zhou. Madam Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts in the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology. Thank you. Tabitha Alexander. Amberly Allen. Louise Alvarez. David Alvalio. Joni Chiang. Karen Chiang. Robin Dalla Vincenza. Oh, Erica Ford. Alexa Fraser. Chelsea Goddard. Olivia Guttenberg. Hayley Habibullah. Oh, Ellie. Sorry, Ellie. Marcus Han. Linda Huang. Ashley Hume. Jocelyn Kim. David Knights Cowling. Kaylee Louie. Abigail Markovich. Emily Marston. Caitlin McKinnon. Maria Fernanda Mercado Castena. Samantha Penner. Linnea Perry. Aileen Polly. Stephanie Porter. Nicholas Ree. Oh! It's performance students. William Ross, no falling. Sana Sayapur. Thank you. Paige Smith. Nisa Song. Madison Steele. Joy Sang. Careful. Paula Vitanen Alda Sosa. Thank you. Walgreen. Walgren. Tegan Walgren. Emma Wedman. Emmett Wilson. I can do it. I can do it. Matthew Winter. Benjamin Wong. Syed Asad Yaya. Fionn Young. Fiona Zhang. So, Madam Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology. Thank you. Anita Chen. Xiaotong Chen. Glenn Chen. Chion Yon Fan. Michael Hoffer. Nilofar Kausha. Patrick Lau. Vivian Leung. Gary Lee. Thank you, sir. Ibikunu Richard Peppel. Robbie Sibuyan. Max Sergeyenko. Tavan Sohi. Veronica Wu. Han Wu. Madam Chancellor, I am pleased to present the student who has completed the requirements for a diploma in the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology. Thank you. Tessa Perkins.
Will the graduating class please rise? I congratulate each of you on the completion of your degree. This is an impressive achievement, and I ask your friends, family, and members of the platform to join me in applauding the amazing graduating class of June 2018. Now, let's not forget all those who helped you to get here. I invite the members of the graduating class to reciprocate by applauding your family, friends, faculty, staff, indeed all those who helped you to achieve your goal. Please be seated.
Friends, this completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some of the graduates recommended by Senate for degrees today have been unable to be present, and their names have therefore not been read out. I now hereby admit them to their appropriate degrees as shown in the program. And I have several thank yous to express. First, to all of you for joining us on this celebratory morning. To the many volunteers, staff, and faculty members coordinated by Ceremonies, Events, and Student Services who've worked together to run a smooth convocation day, and they even arranged for it not to rain, so we should be quite grateful to them. And to the members of our 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band for their contribution to convocation. They will be performing for us again. Let's thank them all. So this brings to a close the formal part of this morning's convocation. You are all now invited to attend a reception in Junction 65 to my right behind the platform. I saw Nanaimo bars there earlier, so get over there. Please rise and remain standing at your places until the platform party has recessed. Thank you.